Good morning. It is day 42 on the Continental Divide Trail. If you've been following my journey, you'll know about a month and a half ago, I had left Wolf Creek Pass hiking northbound, and I made it over to Pagosa Springs. I had to bail out just before the knife's edge on the trail because of lightning storms, and the forecast was just really bad. And then after coming off trail, I had a bunch of family and work things to take care of. So finally getting back on trail. And for this section, I'm starting at Spring Creek Pass out of the Lake City. This is where I had planned on ending my long section hike for this year. And I'm hiking backwards, southbound, to where I bailed off the trail. So I'll be ending my hike back at Williams Creek Reservoir. And looking forward to this section. It's kind of funny hiking southbound now after being northbounder for so long, but I think it's going to be a great hike. Today the weather's a little bit sketchy, but it seems like it's going to be decent weather. Doesn't mean I won't get caught in any, but the chances of rain go down a lot after today. So let's hike. So this section of the trail is actually also part of the Colorado Trail. So I'm actually hiking segment 22 of the Colorado Trail right now. I did this back in 2020 with Steve. It was my first longer hike that I'd ever done. And we hiked from here back to the southern terminus of the Colorado Trail that ends there in Durango. So I've actually seen this segment of trail before. I am so out of breath. And if I'm talking kind of funny, I got these Invisalign braces. So that's why I sound a little funny probably. But I'm trying to get used to them here. And a quick note, the reason I decided to hike this section southbound, it just made sense logistically, because we've been camping for the last week over outside of Creed, which is nearby. And so it was easier for Steve just to drop me off here at Spring Creek Pass on his way home, as opposed to having to drive the 4 hours a few days from now to pick me up, because where I'm getting off is only about an hour and a half from my house. So it just makes sense. And it saves me having to do about a 5,000 foot climb up from Williams Creek Reservoir just to get back to the trail where I left off. So that is why I'm doing this section SOBO. I was just thinking about, it's kind of funny, while a majority of CDT hikers do the trail in a northbound direction from Mexico to Canada, a majority of Colorado Trail hikers hike the trail southbound from Denver to Durango. The elevation profile is just a little easier that way, because right as you enter the last segment into Durango, you have a massive descent. And when you're hiking it the opposite direction, which I've actually done that segment in reverse, and it's a tough climb. And I saw my first bike packer here heading towards Durango. So this first part's pretty easy. I'm just following a Jeep road for a little bit, and up in a couple of miles I'll veer off onto some trail. Looking up a pretty valley, and I'm a mile and a half in on this road walk. I just checked the map to see it's 4 miles up to my trail junction, so I'll still be following this for a bit. But so far I've got pretty sunshine with some cloud cover too, though, so it's keeping it cool. And I think the highest rain chances are between 11 and 1:30 today. Hopefully I can get up and over the high point of the trail for the day before the rain comes through, but we'll see how we progress. We're moving pretty good though, just under 3 miles an hour. So and now I'm going downhill, so I'll be able to go a little faster. Here's my little first trail junction. Looks like I'm heading up to that little ridge. And I like seeing this. This is the CDT sign marker, and this is the Colorado Trail marker. So I'll be seeing both markers for a while. And I'll probably be seeing more hikers than I ever saw on the CDT, because a lot more people do the Colorado Trail, and I'm just kind of looking at notes, and I see kind of signs in the mud where people have just been through here not long ago. So probably I'll be seeing some people until I get to the CDT, and then I expect to be pretty lonely again. So such a nice hiking weather right now. Nice and cool for this climb. I just came across several marmots in the rocks here. They're so camouflaged with the rock. They're dark right now. Very cool. Hey guys. And let's turn here. Trying to move more slowly because I watched one of my videos back on a big screen TV, and I was like, whoa. When I turn too fast, it makes me motion sick. So I came back, way back across that valley here. And now I'm climbing up onto what is called the Drizzly Mesa. Whew. So I misspoke. I wasn't quite on the Drizzly Mesa. I had about a mile of a climb, mile and a half climb up. So now I am up on this Drizzly Mesa. And it's still got a gentle climb. I can't really tell what's up after this high spot. So when I get up there, I'll give you another peek. It's kind of rocky. Gotta watch my steps because these rocks are all embedded in the trail. But one note is, man, the Colorado Trail is so much more defined. I'm not used to that. And this is probably on the notes on the far out map for the Colorado Trail. This is supposed to be the less defined portion of it. Yeah, this is pretty defined. You'd have a hard time getting lost, and it's very well marked. Like, there's lots of little posts with markings. Oh, and I see a hiker up ahead. I think I'm about to catch somebody. Well, that was fun. I got to stop and chat with that hiker. He's actually going northbound. So he said there's quite a few people up ahead of me that I'll probably end up catching here soon. But and he's from Telluride. His name was Boomer, trail name Boomer. And it's kind of neat meeting people that live out here. And now I'm getting some pretty views. Reaching the top of that mesa. I looked at my elevation. I see why I was so out of breath from the start, because right from the get-go I was at 11,000 feet. I haven't been up this high for a little while. Alright, well, let's get some miles knocked out. We're about 4 miles in since I left Spring Creek Pass. And I'm looking forward to my big climb. I remember it was pretty steep, the final section, but it gets up to the high point of the entire Colorado Trail. When I get up there, I'll tell you the exact elevation, but it'll also be the highest point that I've climbed yet on the CDT. So I guess technically for this year, it'll be my highest point that I've climbed on the CDT. And it's a couple hours from here probably. But let's see what's going on along the way. Right, I made it off of that rocky Jerosa Mesa, and my trail is heading up this way, like this, I think. There's some kind of antenna up ahead here, up on the top of this mountain, but I don't have to go up there. Pretty red mountain here. It's cool. So I'm still climbing up the road. I got some pretty dark clouds hanging out here, but so far, no rain, no thunder, no lightning. That's good because I'm pretty high and not really anything much for shelter, but there is a spot in a couple miles if it does start raining that I can kind of hang out until it lets up before I go up over the high point if I need to. But so far it's just really cloudy. I'll take it while I got it. Made it to the top of that climb. I can see, here's the big mesa that I came over, and you can see the weather just building. It's all around. I can see some rain, I think, back that way, but I am getting some good views of the mountains now, and I think I'm starting to get a view of, if I'm not mistaken, I head up here. But first I drop down a bit, I think, into like a kind of foresty area, and then climb back up. Temperature right now is at 58 degrees. Feels really good, actually. Starting to look more like fall, even though I'm still in August. It's just been a dry year, so looks like the fall colors are all coming in a lot earlier. Even some of the aspens are changing. It's interesting. Found some little gooseberry bushes. They are supposed to be edible, but I haven't tried them before, and I don't really want to try something for the first time out on trail in case it makes me sick. So I made it down to this forest. It's got so many dead trees. Would not be a very good camping option. I've seen some like flat places where you could set up a tent nicely, but there's a lot of dead trees around, and especially in stormy weather or windy weather, not a good idea. Seeing several like animal tracks going through all this marshy area, probably moose or elk. And I'm still kind of going through the forest. So it started sprinkling on me, and I found this nice little spot that's kind of sheltered and has a log. So I'm gonna sit here for just a few minutes. I haven't taken a break yet, and have a snack, see what this weather's doing, if I need to put on more like rain pants and get out my umbrella or what. So sit here for like 5 minutes or so. So after my little break, I put on my rain gear, my jacket and my mitts, because it was sprinkling pretty good. And I mean, I got maybe 10 yards and it stopped. So that is a surefire way to get it to stop raining. But I'd be surprised if I don't get rained on again with as overcast as it is. But man, it's been nice for this climbing. The trail started climbing pretty steeply up out of this forest. And as soon as I get up a little here, I will give you a view of the climb to come. So far I've climbed today 2,100 feet, and I know I've got at least 1,000 feet of climbing because I'm at 12,081 right now, and the high point is over 13. So that'll all be over the next couple miles. I'm starting by climbing this hill in front of me, and then I think it goes back to a hill back behind it we can't see yet. So I think I'm gonna put some music on for a little motivation and get this climb over with, hopefully, before I get more rain. So I'm making good progress on the climb, and I see a lake down there, and I think it is one of the Castle Lakes. There's several of them. That's what I've climbed up through. I can see lots of clouds and rain. It's kind of obscuring the mountains and stuff down that way. But weather's holding really nicely for me, so I'm gonna continue on my climb. See what I've got ahead there. I love landscapes like this. There's another view of that Castle Lake. I'm about to get to the top of this little climb. See what's ahead. Got my rain jacket back on. All right. I'm climbing that straight ahead. There's a bird. There's a few lakes tucked away up in here. There's one right back there. Let me zoom in. There it is. And then there's one up higher, right up at the top there. All right, let's get this climb over. Check out this cool little ridge walk. Oh, how pretty. Oh, here we go. That lake right there, that's Lake San Cristobal. That's the lake outside of Lake City. Oh, wow, this is beautiful, even with the clouds. Wow. All right, I'll keep climbing while this weather's holding. Well, I've reached the steep switchbacks part of the climb. You can see my trail came from way back over there. And now I'm climbing up. I gotta get to the top of this. And then shortly after, I'll be at the high point of the Colorado Trail, up over 13,000 feet. It's pretty exciting. I haven't been that high for a while. Oh, not at all on the CDT. There's lots of marmots running around, and I hear little pikas. I haven't seen one yet, but oh, they love these high elevation and all these rocks. Almost there. Oh, it feels impossible right now, but we're getting there. Steep, steep, steep. Oh my word. Okay, it goes right there and turns. See my top and side. This marmot is watching me. It's probably thinking, what on earth are you doing up here in the rain? And I'm asking myself the same question. But after I get to the other side of this, I haven't reached the high point yet. It's somewhere some should be somewhere right up ahead here. And then after that, I should be dropping down a little. So, and hopefully this misty rain will blow over pretty quick. But it got cold. It's like in the 40s, 45, 43. So I got my rain jacket and my mitts on. Stay warm. So I still got a little climbing. I gotta climb up. My trail's going up here over, so I am not there yet. Just seemed after doing that big switchback that should have been it, but nope, not yet. It's chilly up here with the sprinkles and the wind. Whew. Alright, so I made it up the last climb, and now I'm still climbing. I see my trail going up here, and then I can't really see where it goes, but so we have not reached that high point yet. It was further away than I remembered. The weather's not terrible. I'm getting some cold wind and sprinkles every once in a while, and then it'll kind of stop, and then it'll pick up. So, but nothing severe. Look how pretty this is. I can see some of the roads, but the like all the off-roaders like to do. Well, this gets a little rocky. I'm glad the clouds are giving me my view still. I'd hate to miss this. It's so pretty. Still cloudy down the valley. It's neat. And my climb. I remember this now. Yeah, this should be my final climb before I hit the high point. So, this is looking back where I came from. The trail's there, and went up over this and climbed up along that, and then dropped down the backside, and I came up over that one. It's been a lot of climbing, and each one of those took me up to 13,000. So, I thought just the high point was up at 13, but no, just the highest one, I guess. But it's good. I'm making it, and I got some switchbacks here to get me up this final climb, and then it really should be up there. I'm about, 15 and 3/4 miles in for the day so far. Last time I checked, it was like 3 o'clock, so it's probably about 3:30. So I still got a lot of hiking time left. We'll see. I'm due for a good break after I reach this summit and get down a little bit where I'm sheltered more. All right, y'all, I did it. Reached the high point of the Colorado Trail, 13,271 feet. And this is also the high point of my CDT hike this year. I will get higher, but I gotta get down out of this wind and cold rain, find a spot where I can eat, because I need some refueling. I love that I see a little blue sky patch. So hopefully this little rain is weakening. Oh, I'm surprised I see a Jeep coming up. Didn't expect to see anybody because it's kind of later in the day and the weather's kind of yucky, but that's cool. See my trail heading down there. Beautiful. Wow. Y'all just check out this view. That's so beautiful. Came down from up there and out of the sprinkly rain for now, so that's good. And the weather looks like it's trying to break up and lift, which is fantastic. I'm gonna go down here where I'm a little more sheltered from the wind, and I have not eaten lunch even though it's like 3. I might just do some snacks and because it's so close to dinner time at this point. But man, this is really, really beautiful. Coming up on Carson Point. There's a Carson town site. I think I'll have a view of it from the trail. I can't remember. And it's like an old mining town site. Here's some old dilapidated mining structure, little cabin. There's another one out in the distance over there. And I've just been walking down this very steep, jeep road. See it going way up here. I'm almost, I think, to the junction where the trail starts back again. Kind of see, I think that's the trail over there, so I'm getting there. But I'm getting down out of this wind, so pretty soon here I'm stopping for a few minutes. All right, I just turned off the road, back on the trail. This is where I will be braking momentarily. This is that long road I came down. And the sun is shining. It feels so good. So, yeah, I remember there being like a little flat spot next to some bushes that I can sit, have me a snack, regroup, and finish off whatever I'm gonna end up doing for the day. Right now, I'm at 18.3 miles, and it's about 4:30. So I'd like to be done hiking by 7. Give me plenty of time to do stuff at camp. So, see how my energy holds up after I have a snack. I have not had enough calories for a while, so. All right, break over. So now my trail, sorry, the wind. My trail's gonna follow this valley up around this corner to like a saddle or a little pass. And I'm just gonna make my way this way and see how I feel. If I feel good, I'll go all the way up and over and drop down. There's some lakes I can camp beside. Or if not, I'll find somewhere to tuck away, but it's not even 5 o'clock, so I still got a few hours of hiking left. Some neat looking rock formations. Still making my way up the river valley. I already passed the tent, and I thought I saw somebody up ahead here too, so there are other people out here. I remember I have a pretty good climb up out of this. All right, so that's my pass somewhere up ahead. So I'm just gonna go for it and hike down to, there's Cataract Lake and another smaller lake the trail goes close to, so I'll just camp there beside that smaller lake somewhere. I'll have water, and that'll save me from having to do this big climb in the morning. And it looks like the good sheltered campsites behind me were already taken up, so there'll probably be more space by the lake, even if there's people there. Whew. This, I wish it was in the sun. Let's see, it's like a gnarly looking rock face. It's all eroded out. I camped right there with Steve in 2020 because the weather was so bad. We got caught in a severe thunderstorm, and we didn't want to go higher, so we threw up our tent right there. And once again, I'm caught in rain, but it's just drizzle, cold wind. But I'm finally nearing this pass. Felt like I'd never get there. Still got a little ways to go. There's a rainbow. That's pretty. Totally worth the drizzle then. And I'm almost up. So I crested the high point. Here's my somewhat misty view, but still getting a little mist here. And the wind is so chilly. But I'm heading down towards some lakes, so hopefully it'll be a little more shelter down there. All right, I see a lake, and I can see my trail coming out this way, so I'm dropping down still, because it is really chilly up here. Making it down. These lakes are really pretty. I wish the weather didn't look so yucky, but if I can just get to camp, set up while it's not raining, I'll be very, very grateful. I'm grateful that it's not raining right now. All the different colors in these rocks. Coyotes are camping with us close by, I guess. Camped right down beside the small lake above Cataract Lake.